What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the rePORTER Show. As you can see, we are short, man. Tuck has some things to handle, so I got Dave over here on my left. Honestly, man, the weather over this past weekend ruined a lot of sports. And it didn't matter where they were.
Nah.
It was ruining everybody. For baseball, they were originally supposed to go on Friday, Saturday. Of course, you know that snow came in out of nowhere, and I found out that I think Plainview got hit the worst out of this little area, this little region, so that sucks for us. So we had to search around for fields to try to play on this weekend. So their series got moved to Sunday, Monday. And then softball was in Kansas, and it was snowing there, so they played the first day, but the second day they had to cancel the games and postpone them, so they're moving the rest of those games to I don't know when. And then beach volleyball was in Texarkana, and you know, in that region, it was just tornadoes. So they had their whole tournament canceled. So we went from having a bunch of games to no games.
Yeah.
So it was a rough weekend for everybody. I really hope that, you know, most people weren't affected by the weather in any type of harmful way. Hopefully it was just a sucky day and they kept it moving. But baseball did complete their series, so we'll kick this one off with baseball. Baseball had a series against Oklahoma City, and as I've told you guys before, Oklahoma City is like basically like if you were to compare them to something nowadays, you know how historically good Duke is, right?
Agreed.
So at this level of baseball, Oklahoma City is a great comparison to Duke. They've always been good. They've always been at the top of the conference.
It's always the name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, for sure.
So for them to have the year that they're having right now is just unheard of, because right now they're sitting at the bottom quadrant of the conference. I think they got more losses than they do wins. They just don't look like who most people know them to be.
It's like a culture shock.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, the people that have played there in the past probably are looking at them now like, what y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? But things happen, and so we went into this series, of course, with a lot of momentum. You know, we had the winning streak. I think it was 10 games going into the series. We had a good lead for first place. I think it was a game ahead or maybe 2 games ahead. Either Mackey or USAO was behind us. And we basically had all the momentum, but the problem that I think presented itself for both teams probably was just the fact that they were doing so much moving around. You know, you think you're going to be here in Plainview, and then the next day you got to figure out, okay, are we going to go here? Are we going to go there? We're going to go to Lubbock, Amarillo. What field are we going to play at? By the time they figured out what field they were going to play at, they couldn't play until 9 p.m. on a Sunday night.
Boy.
That's what I'm saying. So you already know it's not that they weren't locked in.
Yeah.
But when you got all that going on, it's hard to bring your best game.
Yeah, and it's like you kind of mentally clocked out on the day.
Yes.
Like it's 9 p.m. on a Sunday.
That's a nap day.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So
that's my reset day, my recovery.
Exactly.
Get my prayer in, but now I got to focus on.
Got to get some baseball.
9 p.m. Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
And so I ended up going out there and streaming the game. So I drove to West Texas, streamed the game for them, and it was a fiasco of a day. But let's go ahead and get into the game finally, man. Game 1. After we went down early, 2-0, Coop dropped down a really nice bunt to score that first run in the game in the bottom of the third. But then we ran ourselves out of the inning. Later, Coop got thrown out at second, and then Delvis got in a pickle from in between home and third base. He picked off the third when the guy was trying to go to first, and of course, they ended up getting him in the rundown. So we ran ourselves out of the inning, 2 outs on the base path there. And then in the bottom of the fifth, though, they gave us some free runs with a pickoff error. So the pitcher threw it away. We were able to score a run there that made it 2-3. So we were only down 1 run. But we gave the freebie right back. On the top of the 6th, we made an error after dropping a fly ball in right field that allowed them to score 1 freely. And that was a 2-4 ball game then. So then in the top of the 5th was a big play from Sunwell. He making up for that error that he had just made. They hit a single to him, and the guy that was on first was trying to stretch it to third. Can't run on Sunwell. And then in the bottom of the 6th, It was a hit and run. I don't know if it was by design or not, but it worked out for us well. And he made his way all the way around the home, which brought it back within 1. So now it's 3-4, and we were needing some production going into the bottom of the 8th, and we were down 1. Memo started it off with the double, so a big double to lead it off. It was a pass ball before this, so he advanced to 3rd, so all we needed was a sac fly to score a run. So we tied it at 4 after the sac fly. And then Christian came up and hit a go-ahead RBI single, made it 5-4. So we're going into the top of the 9th thinking, okay, just get 3 outs, this game's over.
Momentum was on our side,
yeah.
Everything.
Exactly. So we go into the top of the 9th, and OKC, even though they're not having a great year, they're not a team that's ever gonna lay down. They came up to the plate, and bruh hit a moonshot. So of course they tied the ball game at 5. Going into the bottom of the 9th, now we need some heroics to make it happen. And I think with the squad that we got right now, it's all right. We can have some heroics.
I feel like with the squad that we got right now, anybody can be that hero.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So it's like they're not necessarily like, oh, so-and-so walks up to the plate and you're like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
Like now it's like, I'm
you got
to see
it.
What he finna
yeah,
do.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I'm trying to see him handle the pressure and really step up in the big moments.
And that's exactly what happened. So Cooper got on after he got walked, and then he escaped a double play ball. And Cooper didn't slide. I don't know what he was thinking in his mind, but he didn't slide. He just ran, and he sort of just got out the way of the tag. And I don't know if the guy got him or not, but they called him safe. So all we needed was a base knock to win it, man. And that's exactly what we got. Samuel came up and hit a walk-off double to win this game 6-5. Felix on the mound had a great performance. Through 8 innings pitched, he only gave up 3 earned runs on 5 hits and had 13 strikeouts. So another great performance. The last time this man pitched at West Texas, he did another thing just like this. He might just like that field. I think he liked that field. But that was a good win for us to start it off, right? So it wasn't a pretty win. It wasn't an easy win,
but it was a win.
It was a win. Exactly. So we keep the winning streak going. So we bring it to 11. Game 2, no longer in West Texas. This was on just yesterday. We had to come back to Plainview. Still not at our field though. We played at the Plainview High School field. So another situation where you're in an area where you're not used to. Your vibes might be a little off. Your mindset might be a little off.
Your home field advantage isn't necessarily
exactly.
home field advantage.
Exactly.
I mean, you have to travel.
Yeah.
But
you still not in your comfortable place.
Yeah, it's not the comfort zone.
So, even though that was the case, they came out cruising. I mean, I thought this was a lock, man. We came out, we were hitting well, we were pitching well. Tate was on the mound, he was doing his job. Delvis hit a solo shot, and then Sinclair racked up his RBIs, hitting a 3-run home run, right? So, at the beginning of this game, we were up 6-0 through 3 innings of play. So I'm thinking, okay, we only got 4 more innings. These guys got this. This is a done deal. And then OKC, they put a dent in the lead. They hit a 3-run home run in the top of the 4th. Right, so now it's 6-3. But then literally the inning right after that, Delvis came up. He hit a bomb solo shot. So it's 7-3. So honestly, even though it's a 4-run ball game, the momentum's still all on our side because we feel comfortable. We know that on the mound, other than that home run, Tate's doing well. Offensively, we're hitting the ball. There's no pressure here. Well, in the top of the 6th, all the energy was on our side till it wasn't. We went to the bullpen. Now, I don't know exactly why we went to the bullpen. I thought Tate was doing all right. Yeah, I thought he was doing all right. But we decided to go to the bullpen, and that was probably not the best decision. OKC took full advantage of that decision, hit after hit after hit, and it was a tie ball game going into the top of the 7th. So we go into the top of the 7th. I'm thinking, okay, at this point, you saw what happened in the last inning. You probably want to come get him. You probably want to go to another guy. Well, we didn't go to another guy. We went back to the same guy. We put him back out there. He did get 2 outs quickly. And he was up in the count on this guy. We were thinking, okay, maybe we'll get out of here 7-7. We can go into the last inning and get the win, right? It's not what happened. He had this guy down 0-2, 1-2. I can't remember the count exactly, but he had him. And he threw a mistake pitch, and the kid made him pay. So they hit a go-ahead home run. So now we're down 7-8 going into the last inning. Couldn't get the job done. ended up losing this game 7-8, broke the winning streak. And at that point in time, it put us in a tie for first place instead of being so low. So that was a tough loss.
Most definitely. And going to the bullpen, like you said, we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know the full story. But I mean, I guess from the outside perspective, it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
If Tate was out there handling business and really taking care of his job, then I don't see a need to switch that. But I mean, never know.
You never know.
Could have been hurting. You know.
Could have been an arm tweaking. You know, you never know what the situation is. I try to always ask. I wasn't able to get any information on that quite yet. So right now we're just gonna say, you know, we don't know what could have happened.
Yeah.
But that was a situation that happened, and it just didn't work out for us.
Didn't turn out in our favor.
Exactly. So we ended up dropping game 2. Going into game 3, you just want to win. You got to take the series. Even though you dropped the loss here, you're still painful. Exactly. Even though you dropped the loss here, honestly, it's crazy to say, but to a team you shouldn't have lost to, it's okay if you win the series because we've been doing so well in the past. We've put ourselves in a position that we can drop a game here and a game there. It is near the end of the season.
But you got to bounce back.
Exactly.
Have to bounce back. It's necessary. And I feel like with such a tough conference, especially in baseball, if you slip just a little too much, it's going to come back to bite you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like you said, Game 3 is a must-have bounce-back game for us.
It's a momentum game. You know, I think baseball is one of those games where, like, even though, so like basketball, football, anything like that, you can have momentum within a game, but it's hard to keep momentum from game to game. But in baseball, it's a little different because if you're hitting, that means you're seeing the ball well. It doesn't matter what game you're in. That's why when you're hitting well, it's like we're going to him every game. He's going to do something for us, just like Delvis is right now, and a lot of the other guys on our lineup as well. But same thing for pitching, same thing for anything. But if you're in a slump, you feel that as well from game to game. And so this is one of those sports where it's not like, you know, you wipe the board clean and you come out the next game and it's completely different feel. A lot of times you take that same exact feeling that you just had in that last game into that very next game.
Especially when these games are back-to-back.
Exactly.
Back-to-back. Or it's doubleheader or back-to-back days or whatever.
Yep. Whether you want to or not.
You don't got time to.
You don't have time to reset all the time.
Nah, you don't. You don't.
And so OKC, they were feeding off of that momentum from that first game, and they came out swinging. They hit a leadoff home run, and they scored 2 more runs.
I would be too. I mean, they came back from a 6-point
exactly, bro.
Won the game against a team on an 11-game win streak.
Yep.
You kind of got to expect them to be
hot.
Yeah.
And so they was feeling it. They came out. They put up a quick 3 runs on us. So we were down 3-0 at the beginning. But after being quiet for most of this game, so as you can see, we went from hitting to now we're quiet. For the first 5 innings of this game, I think we only scored 1 run. So like I said, momentum in baseball is a huge thing from game to game. You never know what's going to happen.
Sure.
But in the bottom of the 5th, our offense came alive. Delvis started it off with a leadoff double. And then Cooper followed him up with a double, so of course that scored the run. So we had a little life there. The next thing you know, Memo comes up to the plate. Guy was on the base pass. Memo hadn't been hitting necessarily for power this year. He's a consistent hitter.
Yeah.
He's always going to poke one over there.
Hit.
Yeah, he's going to get you a base knock. He might drive one in the gap for you. But this year, his pop just seems a little bit less. I think last year he had a couple more home runs, but I think this year he only has 1 or 2. So Memo comes up to the plate. It's a 3-run home run. So big-time situation calls for big-time players, and we got them right now all throughout this lineup, like you just said. So that tied the ball game at 5. This is where things got interesting, very interesting. So we were down 1 in the bottom of the 6th. The bases loaded, 2 outs, right? Wild pitch, scores a tying run. So we get the tying run off a freebie. Love that. Because now the pressure's off of us. Now we can step up to the plate. Just get a base knock.
Vibes going.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, we in his head.
Exactly.
Like, I'm already know.
So we hit a hot shot to the shortstop, right? He couldn't handle it. It was too hot for him, so he made an error. So that scored another run. So now we're up 1. Then we got 2 more insurance runs, and we went into the last inning up 9-6.
Huge momentum change.
Huge momentum changer. But you playing OKC. Whether they're good or not, they're going to fight.
Yeah.
So they came up, and they put together some big hits. And on a wild pitch, they went ahead 1 run going into the bottom of the 7th. So big hits, scored a couple of runs, then they tied it, and then the wild pitch put them up. So now we down 9-10 going into the last inning. Once again, needing some heroics. So they put in their closer, and just like what happened with us in the last game where we didn't have the best, situation happen for us, the best situation didn't happen for them either. Their closer came up and hit not 1, not 2, but 3 guys in a row. Oh, my mama, that's crazy. How you hit 3 guys in a row?
He woke up a little cranky that day. Like, I don't know.
He hit 3 guys in a row, bro. Loaded the bases with no outs.
Man,
You couldn't ask for a better situation than this right
he
here.
had to have known them guys personally or
I
something.
don't know what bro was on.
3?
But yeah,
Isn't the 1 inning?
1 inning. Hit a guy, hit the next guy, hit the next guy. Bases loaded, no outs. I think it was one of those situations, though, where they didn't know who else to go to out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
It's like, it's either you going to get it done or you're going to lose us this game. Well, as you can imagine, he lost him the game. Cooper came up, and he hit a walk-off 2 RBI single to win this game 11-10, and we ended up winning the series 2-1. So it was a great way to win it, but it wasn't a good feeling the way that we won the series. Because it was a lot of games where we had leads, we let it slip, man.
We just let it slip.
And so it's good to have the win, but like I said, now we're tied for first with MACU in conference. We do have the tiebreaker because we won that series, remember, 2-1. So if the end of the season comes around and we're still tied, we got it. We got it. And that's big right now because I believe, and I will double check this for the next show, but I believe the regular season champs get an automatic bid to the national tournament. So
Which would
that'd be huge.
huge for us.
I don't remember the last time we made the tournament.
Nuh-uh.
It's been a minute. I'm not going to say an exact date because I don't want to give the wrong one, but I can say it's been a minute. So that was it for baseball. After that crazy, wild weekend journey of bouncing here to there, they ended up doing what they needed to do.
Winning the series.
Which
is all you can ultimately ask for.
Yeah.
But that L does hurt.
The L hurts,
L
man.
does hurt, man.
The L hurts.
But, I mean, hopefully, like we all know, this team is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Weapons in every position. Everybody can step up to the plate and make a huge play and turn any game around.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I have full and complete confidence that our baseball team is
They'll be
going to
all
go
right.
out there and get the job done.
They'll be all right. I will say they have a tough schedule ahead, not because of who they're playing, but because of how it's being played. So after this weekend, right, they just got done playing yesterday. Well, they got to hop on the road for the midweek series. So they finna go to Arlington Baptist. So now they got a weekend where they played a late night game and then had to wake up in the morning and get ready for another game. And then they have a rest day, and then they have to hop on a bus for a 5-6 hour bus ride and then play another game. And then they have to hop on the bus again and go all the way to College of the Ozarks. And you know how far away that is. And then they got to play them there. So it's not who they're playing, but in the situation that they're in right now, they really going to have to lock in.
It's going to take a toll on their bodies.
Yeah.
And their minds, too. That, like, lack of focus is probably going to be a factor.
It is.
And, I think mentally, we prepare for that. Get as much rest as possible in between games, take care of their bodies, eat right, and everything. And so it's going to come down to more than baseball for these upcoming games.
It definitely is. I love the way that you said that. It's definitely going to come down more to baseball because it's at this point it's a mindset thing. It's how you handle yourself. It's how you handle your body. You got to handle your injuries. You're babying yourself through this last part of the season so that you're ready for the conference tournament.
Like
basically,
your mental fortitude got to be
at an
all-time high. Especially like finishing out the season. You want that bid to the national tournament. You have to genuinely lock in on every aspect of, like I said, not only baseball but your life. Yeah. And hopefully that we do take that responsibility.
Hopefully we do.
And execute.
Yeah. I'm hoping for a sweep, but I won't feel upset with a 2-1 win because I know the situation.
For sure.
I know how it feels to be on the bus all day. You just got done playing ball. You finna hop on the bus again. You gonna win that game. Then you gotta hop on the bus again.
I'm gonna put it this way though. MACU's probably not gonna care how much rest we got.
No, they don't care.
They're not gonna care about none of that. A record's not gonna care about none of that. And so we can't care about none of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just gotta go out there and handle business.
You're absolutely right. Let's take this one on to softball, man. Softball had a matchup at Central, and as I said, they played only on one day. They played their 2 games on that first day, and they actually ended up playing on a Thursday instead of the Friday, Saturday, which it was originally scheduled to play, which was probably better because they probably wouldn't even got in the series if they waited till Friday. So on game 1, I'm going to say it like this. It was a game of freebies. Because in this entire game, there was only one earned run. Yeah. And that was a solo shot by Amber in the top of the fourth that tied it at 2. We ended up losing this game, though, on 2 errors in the bottom of the 7th. I couldn't watch it, so I don't know exactly what the errors consisted of, how it happened, but I just know that there was 2 errors made. They ended up scoring a winning run off of those 2 errors. So we ended up losing this game 2-3. So it was a total of 5 runs, only 1 earned run. The simplest way I can say it is, it's okay if another team playing like that, but we can't play like that.
You got to capitalize on that.
Got to capitalize.
Even when these games
that
they're handed to you, you can't give it back.
You can't give it back. You can't give it back. You got to hold on to it.
You said, I'm going
to give it right back to you, man. It sucks because they had 3 unearned runs. So if we would have just played solid ball, we would have won this game 1-0. And we would have had, I won't say it would have changed too much for us in the conference standings because right now, like I said, we're in the bottom quadrant right now. We're just trying to make sure that we stay in that top 8, make sure we're in good positioning for when we do go to the conference tournament, and just just want to feel good at the end of the season. You want to win the games that you want to win.
Be proud of what you accomplished.
Exactly.
And letting games like this slip away from you,
it hurts.
After giving it to them.
Yeah, giving it.
I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it definitely is. So coming out in game 2, I'm knowing they were coming out there with a little bit of, I got to get this, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. Adriana was a big part of the success for us this game, man. She was back on the mound, and just like she did, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, she was on the mound, and she made sure we didn't take an L because she went a complete game, allowed no runs, and she added 10 strikeouts. So she was on the mound dealing, you know what I'm saying?
I think giving, what's the name from?
Yep, exactly.
Money.
That's what I'm saying, man. This is her 2nd game, maybe even her 3rd, but I know for sure her 2nd game where she was dominating on the mound. Very dominant. And just strikeout after strikeout after strikeout over the course of this game. And that's really big for us because if the other team ain't scoring, all you got to get is 1 run. Yeah. So we had more than that, though. The Bats woke up a little this time around, putting together 9 hits and 5 runs with a big inning. On the top of the 6th, we scored 3 runs. It was a sac fly from Ariana Zubia, and an RBI ground out from Michaela scored a run, and an RBI single from McKenzie. So we ended up winning this one 5-0. And like I said, the 2nd day was canceled because of the snow. I don't know how they're going to make that up because it is the end of the season. But somehow, some way, they're going to have to make it up because it's conference games. Yeah. So I'll say the conference series is to be announced. Right now, it's 1-1. I'm hoping it'll be 3-1 when they make it up.
For sure.
So that was it for softball. And let's move on to, actually, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I'll go ahead and talk about beach volleyball. Beach volleyball, like I said, they went to TAMU Texarkana. That was the series, the tournament that they were supposed to be played in, but they had their entire tournament canceled. So beach volleyball did not, they weren't able to compete, but they took the trip. That sucks. That sucks, man. Taking a trip and not being able to play really hurts. I think the only good thing is it sort of feels like a vacay. In a way. I mean, it's not a real one.
They got a free trip.
Yeah, basically.
They got a free trip.
Basically. But I know they wanted to play.
Got to miss class and stuff like that. They got a little free trip out of it. So hopefully, we made the most out of it. But like it does suck.
It does suck.
Go all that way and can't do the job that you did.
Exactly. Let's take this one on to track and field, man. Track and field was at the Texas Tech Mass Rider Open. And on the men's side of things, Matthew Gordon placed 7th in the 800 meter. Now, I think it was 7th out of like maybe 15 or something, but I'm speaking on that placement because of the time that he ran. He ran a 1:52, a minute 52:11, and that time right now for the 800 in NAIA is the 9th best time this outdoor season. So he was running against a bunch of other big time guys. Yeah, exactly. So even though he placed 7th, he ran a really good time. And that's the benefit of running against better competition. Because
7th against that competition is still something
it definitely is.
Somewhat proud of.
And the thing with track is a lot of times when you're winning, sometimes you don't know what else you have left in the tank. But when you're trying to catch somebody, you pull everything out that you got.
And more.
Exactly. And so I can guarantee you that's probably what helped him get the time that he ran. And that's, like I said, 9th best time this year. So that's really going to help him moving forward. Justin Guy, the guy that placed 2nd at national indoor meets back in the outdoor season, the 110-meter hurdles, and he's doing exactly what I expected of him to do. He placed 1st in the 110-meter hurdles against some stout competition. It ran a time of 14:06. That time was adjusted to a 14:10, but either way, that time this year is the 4th best time in the outdoor season. So that boy moving.
He moved.
That boy moving.
I mean, I love that we got him, but next year he might be looking at a couple.
You already know how it is, man.
Yeah.
When you get great
Yeah.
talent like this
Yeah.
at this level, you enjoy him while you got him.
Yeah.
Because
first at a meet of this high level,
yeah,
with
with
competition
people
like
already
that,
probably looking at him.
I know.
Just keep it a bean.
I know some of them coaches from other schools probably.
You trying to come our way?
Who
we
this?
got a little money for you.
Who this?
We got some NIL
Yeah,
for you. You
just
know
a
what I'm
little
saying?
bit,
You know.
yeah.
So I already know he gonna get snatched up, but I'm
But
I'm
huge props to
enjoying
him.
him.
Huge props to him. And,
exactly.
And just keep showing out for us.
Keep
rest of
showing
the
out
year.
for us
Yeah.
while you're here, man.
Most
Just a shout out
definitely.
to you, man. You doing your thing out there on the track, bro.
Definitely.
And then Logan Mino in the high jump jumped a 6'5" and a half high jump, and he's a freshman this year. That is top 25 this year. So out of all the track athletes that are competing in the NAIA, this man has made top 25 with this jump. So for a freshman, I like to see that.
That's very
You know
impressive.
what I'm saying? So I hope moving forward, my boy, you stay here and you make a name for yourself. Because if you jump like that as a freshman, I can only see
The ceiling's
room.
high.
Yeah, the ceiling is high, man. The
Ceiling's
ceiling
very
is
high.
high. And so that would be it for track at that meet. We did have some other placements, but of course I like to highlight the people that do it, that did really well at the track meets. If I highlighted everything, you know, be taking up all day. So I'm gonna just highlight.
Take a whole show for that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So these guys did very well at that track meet. So shout out to y'all. So let's take this one on to golf. I'm gonna start with women's golf because they were at the Roadrunner Invitational last week, but the men's are at the Roadrunner Invitational like right now. So I'll get to them because I think they just finished their last round, so I could probably go ahead and fill them in on that.
Hopefully you can get them stats.
Yeah. So women's were at the Roadrunner Invitational. They had 13 teams with 10 of them ranked, 76 competitors. So you already know this is a very stout competition, loaded field, and so. Had a lot of schools in this one. 3rd-ranked team in the nation, SCAD Savannah. 4th-ranked team in the nation, Dalton State. 5th-ranked Marion. 9th-ranked SCAD Atlanta. 13th-ranked Indiana Wesleyan. 14. I can go on and on and on. It was all the way
There was
down
some
the
dogs.
list. There was some
Yeah.
dogs, basically. And unfortunately, we did not fare too well against the competition. As you know, right now, the women's golf is, still trying to build up that organization. I think right now they have 2 that are freshmen. One's a senior, and then one just started playing this season. So it's a tough road for them right now, but they're building, they're on the come up. So hopefully moving forward, when we go to these tournaments, we can see ourselves at the top of the rest of these schools that I just called. So hopefully next time around, I can say how well we did instead of how we got to build ourselves up. Now, on the men's side of things, they're also at the Roadrunner Invitational, but their tournament started just this week. They're in Dawson, Georgia. They also have 12 teams in this one, all of which are ranked. But the craziest thing in this one is there's 8 top 10 teams. So there's only that's just ridiculous, bro.
Man.
They went from winning one tournament with a bunch of top 25 teams to jumping right into another one. So they don't shy away from the competition here,
Not
man.
at all.
They got number 1 Kaiser in Oklahoma City. They both share number 1 right now. Number 3 Dalton State. Number 4 Lindsey Wilson. Number 7 Texas Wesleyan. Number 9 Ottawa of Arizona. And number 10 Mid America of Nazarene. And of course
what are
us.
we?
We're number 8. We got moved to number 8 after that showing that we had in that last tournament. So we were 12, but now we got moved into that top 10 as well. So this is a conversation that we want to keep ourselves in by winning the tournament, or at least finding ourselves in that top 4, top 3, top 5 maybe. So in round 1, it was a rocky start as a team. So we shot 16 over par as a team, and we found ourselves in 10th place out of 12 teams. Now, it's not terrible to find yourself in 10th out of 12 teams when a lot of these teams are right there with you in rankings, but you do want to, you want to do a little something.
Yeah.
You want to do a little something. Leonard has been the leader of our team of late, Like you said last week, it's always a different guy, but of late it's been Leonard, and he's been doing his thing. He's leading the pack for us. He's continued his efforts this round, shooting 2 over par, and he had 5 birdies to go along with that. Going into round 2, knowing the field of play that you're in, knowing the work that needs to be done, you got to come up with a good score here. We shot 9 over par as a team. It's not a bad score, but it's not enough. That only bumped us up.
Not for who our competition
Not for who our
was.
competition is.
Yeah.
It's not at all. So that only bumped us up 1 place, so we're in 9th place out of 12 teams. Again, it was Leonard leading us, shooting an impressive 1 under par this round after only having 2 holes where he was above par. and that will put him in a tie for 11th going into the last round of play. Now, the last round of play started at 8 this morning. It is 10:18 right now as we're recording the show. I'm going to go ahead and check out the live stats and see how they fared in the last round of play, and hopefully something crazy happened. Let's refresh this thing. Nothing crazy happened. We shot 9 over par as a team again, and we stayed in 9th place, I believe. Let's see here. You know what? They might not be done exactly. But as of right now, they shot 9 over par, and they're still in 10th place. Of course, I can finish up the rest of these highlights next week for them. But as you guys know, as of right now, they're in 9th place, and it looks like that's probably where we're going to stay. So hopefully, at least one of them can finish in the top 10, and I can report that on the next show.
Most definitely.
Let's get into these upcoming games, man. Baseball, like I said, they have a midweek at Arlington Baptist. I don't know if it's going to be a doubleheader or a single. With the schedule that they've had of late, I think it would be better for them to play the single, so they might try to play a single instead of a doubleheader. And then beach volleyball is supposed to be competing at the conference championships. I don't know what their conference consists of, what teams are in that, but they're supposed to be competing on Wednesday and Thursday. I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. And then also on Thursday, track and field will be at the WT Joe Meeker Classic. On Friday, baseball. Saturday, baseball has a weekend series at College of the Ozarks. Like I said, softball will be here at home against the number 5 team in the nation, Oklahoma City, at 2 and 4 on Friday, and then on Saturday they'll be playing at 12 and 2. So you got some games to come check out this weekend. I'm gonna just say it's probably gonna be terrible weather. Maybe if I say that, it'll be great weather. Because every single time I say, oh, this week's been nice, maybe this weekend will be out. Nope, it'll be terrible weather. It's going to be terrible weather this weekend. Y'all still got to show up and support the girls, man, because they playing a powerhouse. They got to get the job done. Maybe steal a game, maybe steal 2 of them. I do have some announcements to make, and then we'll close this one out. Lucy is the new head volleyball coach. As you know, she was assigned to beach volleyball, and then I don't know how long ago it was that Jim stepped down from the head volleyball, and now he's just focusing on being an AD. But now Lucy has taken on the role as head volleyball coach as well. So shout out to you, Lucy. She got 2 new jobs in a matter of months. So a lot of things on her plate now. So I wish you the best of luck moving into this upcoming season. And the last thing I got, remember when I was talking about all them coaches that was leaving? We got another one, man. We got another one leaving, bro. The football offensive coordinator, I think he left to go, don't even know where. But he went back to the high school level, and I think he's either taking on the AD position or something of that nature. So
it's going to change some things because we saw a pretty solid turnaround. The
best offense we've seen in a long time.
Yes, a great turnaround for our football's offense. I mean, it's going to hurt to see him go, but hopefully the players can continue that dominant offensive culture and still do great things next year.
That's the importance of having a good head coach as well. I think Inhouse, with him being at the helm right now, knowing what he's bringing in, it's either he's going to bring in another guy or he's going to keep it rolling himself. So I think they'll be all right. It does suck to have that loss, but I think it's a good thing to always still have a head coach. You still got your head coach, so you still got a lot of that still in the system, a lot of things still rolling, so hopefully they can continue the success that they had in the last season into this next one, even without the guy that they had drawing up those offensive plays.
Yes, sir.
But that's all we got for y'all this week, man. It was a little, well, I won't say quick, but it was a little shortened because a lot of the games were canceled, so hopefully this upcoming week is not the same situation. Hopefully this upcoming week is just sunny days and nice weather, because I'm tired of this weather right now. I'm ready for it. Yeah, I'm ready for the heat, man.
Man, it's April. Why is it snowing?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get I'm trying to get a little tan. I'm trying to get a little dark. You know what I'm saying? I like. Yeah. I'm trying to get that dark skin tone with the beach vibes going on. I need the sun to come out, bro. I need the sun to come out. It's too cold. It's too cold. It's snowing. It's tornadoes. It's raining. It's doing all types of stuff. What month? This is April.
Yeah.
This is why I don't like West Texas. But I'm gonna get off that.